Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to be decluttering my room and everything I own, basically, and reorganizing it all ready for the year ahead. So if you want to see that, then keep on watching. Okay, so I first of all started with my desk. I feel like this is just like the easiest starting point for me, I guess. It's like I use everything, well, not everything, but I use a lot of stuff in my desk every single day, so it's the most likely place to sort of get um, messy and need to be decluttered. And I don't know, I just like switching things around and like reorganizing them. I have no idea why, it's just something in my brain. It's weird, but it just is what it is. So yeah, we first of all started with my desk, which involved first of all my hair care stuff. So yeah, put all of my like serums and dry shampoo and spare brushes and whatever in the basket in the back, and then just put all of my hair tools in the front, obviously giving these drawers a good clean out as well. This is always my favorite part of the process, sorting through my makeup. I always go through, I mean, to be fair, I know for the most part a lot of this is going to be expired, but I only use it on myself, so it actually doesn't matter because it's not being used on anybody else. And for those of you that don't know, I am actually a qualified makeup artist, so all of that stuff is obviously always kept up to date and everything. But yeah, for the most part, this stuff is stuff that I've bought ages ago. So especially with like lip products and liquid products like this, I always check them to make sure that they actually are still liquid and they haven't dried up. So I had a couple that had dried up. I had a couple of the Jeffree Star liquid lips dry up. So yeah, and I was really I decided to be really ruthless this time. I feel like when I do like my mid-year ones, I'm not as ruthless, but for some reason this year I decided that start of the new year I just wanted a really good fresh clean start. And I mean, I know it's currently like halfway through February, so it's technically not the start of the year anymore, but when I started filming this it was the start of the year. I think this clip was literally like the 2nd of January or something like that, 2nd or 3rd. So yeah, when I started this, it was the beginning of the year. So I've literally just had to try and keep all of this stuff organised and clean for this long so that everything sort of becomes unorganised in one go, basically. And before this, I actually did declutter all of my clothes as well. I just didn't film it because I don't know, I feel like it would probably be a little bit boring. I mean, you might find this boring, but it kind of is what it is. So yeah, I did declutter and reorganise a lot of my clothes, which went up on my Vinted. I believe there's still some stuff on there. I've also been selling some of my mum's stuff on there. So if you want to go and have a look, my Vinted is actually listed in the description. It's always in there along with my social media if you want to give that a little follow. But yeah, obviously you can see I'm making good progress here. So yeah, that's that drawer done, and then this one is always super messy. This one's like my spare makeup, not spare makeup, but makeup that I don't tend to reach for very often. So in the back I have a basket full of like all of my palettes, which I would love to use more. I just feel like eye makeup isn't really a thing that is done very much anymore. I mean, I know there is absolutely nothing telling me that I can't still do it. But yeah, I just feel like for the most part it's just not done very often anymore. But yeah, obviously decluttered quite a few bits from here, as you can see, and anything that is still in date or is still good I actually do give to one of my mum's friend's daughters, so it doesn't go to waste. It doesn't just go straight in the bin, it does go somewhere useful. So yeah, the biggest undertaking is always sorting through these palettes. Like I say, I never use them, but a lot of them I have I have a little bit of like an emotional connection to, which I feel like is the case for a lot of different people. So yeah, I have a real tough time actually decluttering them and getting rid of them. And also I have a really tough time actually getting things back in this basket and getting them to sit in a way that I want them to sit, as you can probably tell by how many times I move all of this stuff around. So yeah, it's always a problem that I face. And yeah, I mean, I literally still have the very first eyeshadow palette that I ever had, so yeah, that is still in there. But yeah, finally got that finished, and then moved over to the other side of my desk, where I actually have, you can kind of see it in the corner there. I actually used to have two of these trolley things, which I kept all of my eyelash kit in and some of my nail kit in. But I tend to travel when I do nails. So I actually bought or got for Christmas, which you would have seen in my what I got for Christmas video if you've seen it. If not, you go watch it after this. Yeah, I got a nail kit bag, so I actually just moved all of my eyelash stuff into the drawers that used to be for my nail stuff. So obviously I still have, you could see on the side there, I still have some spare nail stuff in there that I don't need with me all the time. But yeah, for the most part I did move all of my eyelash stuff in there, so that has all got a nice home in the drawer rather than just being in a basket in the trolley. So yeah, I did actually manage to, I don't believe I filmed it, but I did actually manage to sort through everything that was on the trolley, or both of them, and I've actually managed to declutter it so that I now only have one of them. So that has made that space and that area look so much better as well, because obviously it's less cluttered. There's only one trolley instead of two. So yeah, that has helped loads. And then yeah, I actually haven't yet because I keep forgetting to, but my sister-in-law is going to have the trolley for her art stuff. So yeah, obviously you can see here I'm just going through my art stuff here. This is more of like a stationary drawer, I guess I would say, but this is so much more organized than what it was. Even though it still looks a little bit chaotic, it's so much more organized than it was. And then yeah, these two drawers are just full of art stuff as well. So this is just stuff that I generally use quite often, so I keep it in here. The rest of my art stuff is kept in a separate cupboard, but yeah, this is all just stuff that I use relatively often, so I keep it sort of within reaching distance of my desk. So yeah, I've just got like all of my paints, oil pastels, not oil pastels, were they oil pastels? I don't know, some sort of pastels. And then yeah, down the bottom, oh, three drawers, sorry, not two, three drawers. So yeah, I just sort of decluttered all of that and managed to basically make room for a bunch of other stuff should I go and buy it, which I probably will because I have an addiction to buying art supplies. So yeah, I actually have ended up with, instead of like three drawers full, like 2.5, which is much better. It's obviously left me with room to play with. And then yeah, the next thing that I wanted to do was actually just reorganize all of my shelves. I just feel like it looks so much better, like once you've had, I don't know, it just feels so much like fresher and new, like once you've had a declutter and a sort out and reorganize things. So yeah, obviously started with this top shelf, which is an area of my room that you guys actually never see. So this is like directly opposite, this is basically where I'm facing when I film my intros and outros. So yeah, obviously got the Hogwarts Express Lego set up there, which I dusted with a clean makeup brush and some wipes, and then yeah, dusted around it as well because it is an absolute nightmare to get on and off of the shelf. So I decided I wasn't going to do that. We was just going to sort of dust around it for now. And then I actually bought this new organiser for my jelly cats, so had to reorganise those, which took a little bit of trial and error to kind of figure out how I actually wanted it and what I actually wanted to be in there. And I did actually declutter some of my jelly cats. I believe I did sell quite a few just before Christmas, but I've now got a bunch more to go up on my Vinted. So if you do want to keep an eye out for those, they'll be going up very, very soon, over the weekend, I would say. So yeah, they tend to go quite quickly. So if you do want to have a look, then make sure that you follow me on there. Like I said, it is in my description. But yeah, you can see here, I just kept like trying to reorganize it and just kept standing there and looking at it and trying to figure it out. In the end, I went for my fruit in the bottom, and then I put my like dessert pastries in the top. So obviously we've got the pancakes, the waffle, the cinnamon swirl and the croissant at the top, and then obviously we've got the cake and the milkshake on the side. I also decided to put my macaroons in front of the Lego because I actually moved the station part of the Lego. I moved it further up, so it's created a little bit more room and it's made it look less cluttered in that corner, which sounds ridiculous because look at it, but it does definitely look a lot better. So once I'd done that and I was happy with it, I then went to the bottom shelf, which is purely jelly cats. So I reorganized the veg basket. I put them into a smaller basket actually, so that they sat further back in the shelf, which I think has made it look loads better as well. Then pushed the all like the animal ones up, which again has condensed it and made it look so much better. And then these ones I was gonna leave there, but you will see in a moment I actually decided to put it on top of the Funko display, and I actually think they look really cute up there. And yeah, you can see my fish and chip tray is still on the side, and then some more of like the bread and just like some random ones. And then I was going to put all of my eggs up there, but they didn't all fit. So my eggs, obviously you'll see in my intros and outros, sit on a shelf behind me, but they actually didn't all fit. So again, a little bit of trial and error with this, and in the end I actually left the bunny egg up there, the devil egg, and I put the cassette tape up there. The cassette tape was on this shelf where those marshmallows are currently, but yeah, I decided to put that up there instead, which I think looks really cute. And then yeah, as you can see, we moved on to these shelves, and as you can probably tell by my outfit changes, this was done over quite a few days. um, so yeah, this again, quite a bit of trial and error. I didn't really want to just put everything, like dust everything and just put everything back where it was. I did want to kind of change it up a little bit, so we swapped the bottom shelf for the top shelf, and these ones actually stayed exactly the same. I just put everything that was on the bottom shelf on the top. So yeah, literally everything stayed in the exact same position, just obviously dusted everything, gave it a nice little clean down so it's all fresh. So yeah, that was the top shelf all done. And then these books were on the second shelf, and I actually decided to put them on the bottom shelf, as you can see. And again, this one, relatively speaking, stayed the same. A couple small things changed, but not really anything noteworthy at all. So yeah, relatively speaking, this shelf stayed the same. I just put it on the bottom instead of the second shelf. And then these two shelves here, I kind of just had a bunch of stuff left over, and didn't really know where to put them or how to reorganize them. So yeah, this is me basically just dusting everything and trying to figure out exactly where I wanted it to go. But yeah, obviously it did take a little bit of trial and error, and there was some bits that I actually took off the shelf and decided to keep off of the shelf, so obviously had to rearrange a few bits there. But yeah, these two are the only shelves that have actually moved, like anything being on them. The top one, well, the top one now was exactly the same when it was on the bottom, and then yeah, like I said, the bottom shelf was very, very similar when it was on the second shelf. So yeah, that's basically what I did there, which is obviously why this bit is taking me a little bit longer, because I'm trying to figure out how to actually put it back together. But this is what I ultimately went with, and that is exactly how it stayed. So yeah, that is basically that. And then the last bit that I actually filmed was my back shelves here. I mean, you can't really tell what I'm doing, but I am meticulously dusting this with a makeup brush. That is the worst part about having these massive Lego sets, is cleaning them and keeping them dust free is an absolute nightmare. And I'd originally planned to have my one stand go in there, but it's actually a little bit too tall. It doesn't fit in, unfortunately, so that had to go back to where it was before. So yeah, this one I didn't really have a lot of options for where I could move things, because relatively speaking, I'm very happy with how this looks. So yeah, the actual shelves on here basically stayed exactly the same. I just took everything off, gave it a good dust and a good clean, and then put it back again. It was only really the bottom, like the cabinet, that changed the tiniest bit, but it's not really very noteworthy. I mean, the two Jellycats that were on there, the two clouds, have obviously moved, and I've put them on the shelf in front of me. So that's really the only sort of like noteworthy thing, basically. But even that is like not really that big of a change. So yeah, obviously these shelves, like I said, stayed exactly the same. But yeah, that was essentially everything. Okay, so that was everything that we managed to declutter this time. Yeah, I'll probably do this again probably halfway through the year, so make sure to subscribe to see that one. And I also have a few decluttering videos already on my channel, so if you want to see them, make sure to go back and have a look.
But yeah, other than that, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.